Welcome back to the Eastern European DPC Tour 3 as we head on the road to the Bali Major, and I nearly knock over everything on my table by bumping into it. A bit of an earthquake going on, but Waga joined me again as we go into Game 2 of UALEIKUMNIHAO, going up against One Move, and Game 1 was reasonably one-sided.
Yeah, it was very one-sided. It was some really well-executed game by One Move there, and their overall understanding of how to play around, their mid and how they moved together with their supports, the Mirana and the Maiden, were really, in tandem, kind of moving across and picking off people as they got out of position. I think maybe it's a bit of draft though, because we saw the first phase Tinker, and it really didn't feel like they shut it down. I'm predicting Tinker will be banned in this game. It's going to be banned first phase.
Just straight up banned. And then thoughts on the Medusa? Because she was ignored, right? The whole draft?
I think some teams may be thinking that, oh, Medusa's nerfed. She can't be played at all now. But she probably is fine. Like, you just need to get over the initial stage. The biggest nerf to Medusa is that she isn't insanely hard to kill level 1 anymore. She doesn't have that free 200 mana on level 1. She has 0 bonus mana level 1, so that's effectively 400 less HP level 1 if you do the conversion there. But once she gets levels in it, it still turns into the same thing. The only real difference is that you have 3.6 damage block instead of 4 per mana, which, yeah, it's a nerf, but it's not insanely hard of a nerf. I think that she's still very, very strong, but teams are reluctant to do it perhaps now, a little bit risky. Maybe they haven't had enough time to test it out. Obviously, a patch came out today, so perhaps picking a hero that just got nerfed feels like a gamble.
And I guess just thinking back to Game 1, do you think One Move had a predetermined draft going into this, where Beastmaster Tinker, if they got the opportunity to do this, they had the rest of the draft kind of mapped and planned out? Because honestly, thinking about the way it went, it didn't feel like they were reacting to anything that was drafted against them.
It felt like it. That felt like an entire 5 heroes that they have thought about. These heroes work well together, because opening with the Beast Tinker, okay, we got those. Then yeah, CM Mirana play really well into the Beastmaster with this, play well into the Tinker with it. You have some really great utility there, and CM plus CK is just a nice combo. But that could also be because they thought this works well in the lane. Works well for how they want to go late game. The entire draft looked like they got what they wanted, so let's see if they can be prevented here as we go into the next draft. If UALEIKUMNIHAO will have some better responses here.
A bit of head scratching and figuring out what they want to be getting on here as Game 2 draft about to get started. We'll see what exactly we're dealing with, what kind of adaptations we do get made. And already Monkey King Kotl, Beastmaster gone. Tinker's still out there.
Yeah, they banned the Beastmaster themselves though, so at least Tinker is, not gonna have the Beast pairing, but there's the Bounty Hunter. Tinker is there. So UALEIKUMNIHAO, how do you open this now? Curious what they want to do to start here. You could start with Disruptor or something, so you get at least a hero that would counter it if the Tinker comes in. We're gonna go with Alchemist, popular here on the patch for sure. Despite some minor nerfs they received this patch, he still worked really well earlier today. We saw it played on the offlane, can be played in many different positions for sure.
Yeah, super flexible. Remaining. No matter what goes on. You said you're expecting Tinker to be banned. I'm just expecting Tinker Bounty Hunter, like you said, just to be picked up immediately.
Honestly, I mean, after what we just saw, maybe. But One Move could also, want to flex that they can do something else as well here. If they just do Tinker again, question is that the best approach, or do they have something else prepared as well that they want to show us here? That's really what I'm considering, because obviously they can play Tinker, but I want to see more from this team. I want to know more about them than just we're good at doing this one thing. DPC is still going to run for a while here, and you can't just be a one-trick pony. But if it's not banned, why not use it?
See, that's the thing, right? We want to explore the depth of these teams and see what they're capable of, but every win matters. Okay, it's a best of 3 and they're a game ahead, so they technically have, a free loss that they can, throw away and say, okay, we'll practice this, we'll see if this works out. But I feel like nowadays there's a much bigger difference between between scrimming and league games. Because you could think back, before DPC existed, league games were basically scrims. League games,
Yeah.
you know, joint Dota League and smaller tournaments, third-party
I mean,
tournaments.
yeah,
It was where-
DPC League is massive. It's
Yeah.
like the second biggest thing after a major, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's the road to TI. Every DPC league is the road to TI. You need DPC points to get to the biggest tournament in the world of any esport.
Yeah,
every
They're
victory
super
you need to be
prestigious
playing to win.
games. Super prestigious games and everything matters. So they open with Doom, very safe hero that works really well in general in a lot of drafts. Despite his nerfs, also still feels like a good hero. They're gonna go back for the CM again here. So not really showing too many cards. They enjoyed the CM last game. I gave him the personal MVP vote there. And CM Doom is also a nice combination. Generally, Doom does really well with a little bit of extra mana. Even the lane pairing can be fine, but I don't expect her to go together with this Doom most likely.
I mean, previously with an Alchemist, this team has played, definitely played, but definitely picked up in the first phase heroes like Warlock and Jakiro, very solid safe lane supports. Maybe, an indication that they put a lot of emphasis on this Alchemist when he is a POS 1. But we'll see what direction they go. And you still want to keep this Alch kind of open.
I like the idea of just going for like minus armor strat. Get me some SFs, some Venges, maybe some TAs, might I say, get some minus armor combinations with the Alch, because that's really when he thrives the most, when you have a lot of stuff to reduce the armor. We'll see what they're gonna do though. They go for Underlord. Okay. So a hero that soaks Doom really well. He doesn't really care if he gets doomed, but at the same time he kind of prompts Doom in some scenarios. Pit of Malice, some control spells and so on.
And this kind of... I mean, would you argue that Underlord being picked here shows that Alchemist is position 1, or is it still dependent on what happens later on down the line?
Not entirely. It shows bigger chance, but honestly, I could see Alch going to, it can be flexed anywhere, dude. From position 1 to 5, I think Alchemist can currently be played anywhere. I doubt that it's going to be POS 4 though, because Alch Underlord sounds like a kind of wonky lane. I guess it has a lot of AoE damage with Firestorm and Acid Spray, but it doesn't really sound too good. I see those two heroes and I'm just thinking like Timber Saw, this looks like the kind of stuff that you can cut through with the Timber Saw as well. But already having that Doom, I doubt they want to run a Timber Saw off lane at least. Maybe they could play it mid.
Dire team ban.
That's true. Oh, there's the respect ban on the Tinker, not allowing it to slip through this time.
He does get banned, and a little bit of relief for the players on UALEIKUMNIHAO, as they don't have to put up with the same thing from last game again.
I wish we could have seen all of the player cams in that moment where you just see every player just go, big old sigh of relief.
5 seconds
remaining. That's the lovely thing. If you're in a professional team and you have these disgusting Brood, Tinker players, Huskar pickers on your own team, they feel great. You're like, oh, we are the disgusting ones, we've got it. So then the opponents have to go for these bans.
Yeah, force out the bans. That was something that felt kind of awkward in the previous patch. Broodmother was a permanent fixture in the ban phase when you're
First
second
phase,
pick. Yeah. If the enemy has first pick, you're just like, okay, well, we have to ban the Brood, I guess.
And now she's just gone. But
yeah.
I think that people might be sleeping on a different style of Brood. That's for perhaps another time. But I think more right-click Brood, now that she's universal, is interesting to explore.
Carry Brood, here we go.
No, like a mid right-clicky Brood can be pretty active, actually. It's interesting. Echo Saber is not a bad item as well. And a Harpoon. Pull them into your web again.
5 seconds remaining back.
Tiny Juggernaut. What is this Juggernaut ban? It's the second game in a row now we've had Jug ban, and it's not a hero that's been really on my radar recently.
Yeah, I've seen a few Juggernaut picks here and there, but they haven't stood out as amazing. Usually, I see it against Doom. So remaining. It's kind of weird that they're the ones to ban it now when they're playing against Doom themselves, because Jug, the Healing Ward, can be fantastic for saving people against Doom. They want to run away, then Healing Ward pairs up with them, and you're kind of fine. But this could just be respect to the 1-2 combos, right? Last game, it was the Juggernaut, or the CK plus CM. Now they don't want to play against the Juggernaut CM, taking away combination heroes. They don't worry about CK here, because they have Underlord. Underlord is a super hard counter to CK, so you do not pick CK CM into that, I would say. But I would be more worried about Ursa, personally. Ursa CM against Underlord sounds like a terrible lane.
Well, they're going to go for the tried and true. The Maiden Mirana, making a lot of action happen, really migrating from one side of the map to the other, and having Moonlight Shadow just give you that cover to start team fights off. How important has Vision been these past few years, the initiation tools that you need. And Moonlight Shadow just gives you that safety umbrella.
Yeah.
Slip past all detection.
Still gives you that little bit of speed as well, right? As we play on this bigger map that has bigger areas to traverse, then getting Moonlight Shadow just for speed sometimes can even be good to be able to close that distance and find the rotations. So, yeah, I like the Mirana pickup here. They're kind of doing the same thing from last game overall, but not Tinker. I like it. UALEIKUM, they kind of have to get some form of backline, like supporting cast here, because right now, Alchemist and Underlord, I'm not sure where this draft is going to be going, but obviously they're going to have the aura bot that is Underlord with Crimson and Greaves and Pipe and stuff like that. But they need something that can punish the Doom in the early game, I think.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what that's going to be. I mean, like I said before, they've played a lot of these kind of safer supports. Jakiro, Warlock. In the previous game, the Pugna looked really good. Like, in the hands of Mary there was incredible. Undying, another melee strength hero. So maybe your idea of Timbersaw comes to the forefront again, and we have that popping up.
It's looking better. It keeps looking better and better. Yeah, Undying, a good hero to bully off-lane strength heroes, so that's a good start for dealing with Doom. But I'm very curious what's going to pair up with it. Is it just going to be Terrorblade, perhaps? Is it going to be coming back again here? But TB against CM doesn't feel great as well. You normally don't think of CM like a hard counter, but it's pretty annoying to deal with. Her attack speed slow on the Q, her AoE damage on the ulti. It doesn't feel fantastic to pick it here.
Yeah, I mean, are they considering if it's going to be Undying Alk even? Or is Alk now shifted into mid lane for you?
No, it could still be. It could still be. I think maybe it is just going to be a carry Alk. Okay, now it's looking a lot like they're running the carry Alk. I mean, yeah, maybe he still waits for the mid matchup and see what happens there. But I like the idea of putting your Undying and Alchemist on safe lane now. Should be doing pretty well against this Doom. If it's Doom Mirana, that should be a pretty easy lane for them.
5 seconds remaining.
And Jakiro gives them a bit more team fight. A bit more tower push through Liquid Fire. Something they were potentially lacking there. Some pretty good combos though, especially around so many fights we see around these Twin Gates and Roshan and choke points, all these staircases that were added to the map. Having Pit of Malice and Ice Path with the buffed Ice Path feels so good to be able to control these smaller areas.
Yeah, new Ice Path is just crazy. Like, it's so much better than it used to be. The lingering on it is forever. It feels like you wait and you wait and you wait, and then you go in and you still get Ice Path hit. And there's a big reason why Jakiro is one of the most popular supports right now. He's so great. But a good reaction to this is the Slark. Instead of going for the Ursa against the Unlord, they have the Slark against Unlord. Good matchup. And there are some heroes that Slark can just farm away stats on in this game. Even the Jakiro is like a thick type of support.
Yeah, give me the Essence Shift.
Yeah.
The Slark this Underlord is kind of an interesting one though, right? Because the first few levels, or like laning stage itself, isn't super good for the Slark. Because Underlord kind of plants himself in the wave with Firestorm, it's annoying.
Correct,
but once you break down a laning stage, Slark is just like, yes, give me Agi.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, you have a timing. You can basically farm to Vanguard pretty easily on Underlord if you want. But once you have Vanguard, you're going to be hard to kill. But Slark is getting stronger as well. And once Slark has ulti, he's just going to farm you. And if he gets Diffusal, you turn so useless when you don't have mana anymore. So even if you can survive for a long time, that might just make Slark stronger for a long duration afterwards. So we'll see how it plays out. I'm definitely more in favor of one move for that laning matchup, but at least the combination here of Jakiro plus Underlord is a lot of burden damage in laning stage.
Yeah, nice, sure is. I mean, Bloodseeker bound to cover the Slark. Pango respect against Uncrad. Pango's probably his best hero of all time. with not too much contest.
5
And we're still
that's
looking for that mid lane
Radiant
hero for him.
team pick.
That's probably why they also cover him with banning out the Bloodseeker. You know, it's a good hero currently. It's good against Slark as well. And it covers their own Pango picks. So if they wanted to get Pango, it would have been great. But yeah, Ricky gets banned out as the last hero. That's interesting. So they're expecting this to
10
be
seconds
mid
remaining.
Alchemist most likely.
Okay.
Dire
Because
team pick.
most likely Ricky carry. And Enigma comes out.
Underlord
What?
mid then?
What? That's a curveball. Okay, Enigma last pick. Underlord mid, probably. Enigma offlane. I think they're
There's the
dodging.
Timbersaw.
Choose your hero.
Yeah, Timbersaw's still looking amazing, so... I was asking for it from the first 2 picks, and I do get to see it.
Cool. So I was thinking about this, and I didn't want to bring it up because we don't see it from anyone except EG. We have the Whisper, Chrislock, Swapperoni with the Underlord mid, and they're like the only people that do it. And it's always there as like a potential flex, but it's cool to see, you know, another team bring that to the table in terms of drafting.
Yeah, this is very interesting how they're switching things up here. So, yeah, the Enigma coming in. I mean, matchup-wise, you're definitely happier to have the Enigma against the Slark. And now with the Timbersaw, though, it's tricky. It's tricky. I guess you still maybe send the Underlord down against the Slark and try to have Enigma on the mid matchup. But Chira did pick the Underlord, so yeah, you know, I think no matter how you spin this Rubik's Cube, one move are gonna have the easier matchup because Underlord doesn't want to lane against anything here. He doesn't want to be against Slark. He doesn't want to be against Timber.
I guess just the fact we're talking about this already means that UALEIKUM is in a difficult spot, just trying to figure out what they want to do. They don't have a solid setup for themselves. But before we get ourselves into game 2, a quick message from EGB.
Bets on esports, bets on streamers, impressive bonus system. Welcome bonus up to $600, cashback, artifacts, regular promotions, daily giveaways. Try yourself as a bookmaker. Great lines. EGB.com, more than just a bookmaker.
Prepare for battle.
All right then, Waga. Here we go. Game 2 in this best of 3. One move have looked like the stronger team so far. What laning swap ups are we seeing, or will we see, or not
Okay,
at
so
all?
it's mid Underlord versus mid Timbersaw is what it's looking like. We have both the mid players on these heroes, so mid item build from the Underlord as well, going for a bottle rush with a little bit of stats first. But that matchup should be very comfortable, I would say, for Timbersaw. Underlord can definitely farm it as well, but it gets progressively worse and worse. When Chakram comes out on level 6, Underlord is a very unhappy boy. Oh, this
It's real
smoke
challenging
around.
for them.
Look at this positioning. They took the high ground. They're sitting behind. They have not been spotted.
Oh, Underlord, don't walk up those stairs.
Ooh.
30
Undying,
seconds to battle.
Alchemist. Who they get so many targets to go for? Just, yeah, dying. First point of contact. Nearly dead, not quite. Blood grenade
Throwing
thrown at him and he
grenades.
survives. Game is hard.
I
Not getting the finish.
I think they threw 2 grenades at him there as well. It looked like they threw a second one, but they still have 1 to go as well.
Spending all their grenades.
The battle begins.
Yeah, they're gonna get dewarded. And Undying, thick enough to survive that. He only got a 2-man decay because they actually split up really nicely there, trying to avoid giving him a lot of strength. But he managed to get away and heals up nicely enough.
Yeah, he's wandering up to top. So Enigma Undying. As we can see, the odds up on the screen. One move, as we'd expect. The Division 1 team are in that advantageous spot. And already 1 game up, so no surprises there.
Yeah, I mean, after first game, it definitely looked like they were a little bit stronger. But going into game 2 here, we'll see UALEIKUM bringing some interesting draft, that's for sure. Switching things up a little bit here. First time I see a mid Underlord in quite a while.
Some fresh strats. How's that bottom lane? Alchemist Jakiro against Doom Marana. Feels like this is just 2 core heroes who are going to be farming, trading farm, while the 2 supports create the 3rd lane, the 4th lane for themselves and hit each other over and over again.
Yeah, I think it's easier for Alchemist to support the Jakiro in the trade because of the unstable concoction. He can throw it pretty far, whereas Doom has a hard time running over. So maybe that will favor a little bit here. The Radiant matchup. Nice arrow. Mid matchup, we see, of course, the Timbersaw bullying the Underlord already with this whirling death. It really hurts.
Actually needs to get to his bottle to keep sustaining it. The Firestorm's a bit irritating, but First Blood occurs up atop, a trade out, and Undying dies first, but the Slark following him into the grave means Enigma having a great time with the wave under his tier 1 as well.
Yeah, Slark still pretty happy though. He got First Blood and he got one permanent Agi still, and so at least has that. But yeah, Enigma should have a pretty good lane here. He's not the one we're worried about. So it's more the mid matchup. Like right now, already 11 and 4 versus the 6 and 0. We can see Timbersaw. He did get the bottle. He has the money for it. It's coming out. But he really relies on spell farming so heavily here.
Yeah, we'll see how things change after Fiora gets leveled up. Just gonna have bonus damage for the Underlord, looking pretty good. But he gets tagged by one Whirling Death. It's like 300 damage or something.
It does so much, yeah. 120 pure damage.
And taking away all his strength. Maiden attempting a pull. Looks like the little Satyr does follow through, but Undying's in the way. Yeah, this mid laner is waiting for Underlord to just die. Like, he can't go for... Look, Aincred's positioning. Can't go for water runes. Underlord's walking back and forth wondering, where do I go?
Yeah, that kind of gives away that he has high ground vision there. Both teams, of course, have vision on that high ground, but he's gonna, at the end of the day, push out the creep wave, go top, get that water rune at least. But Timbersaw is being a bit of a bully so far. Bottom lane, the Alchemists looking pretty happy on this lane, getting nice CSing.
Not looking too bad. Hero looks like he's managed to deward his small camp, so can start pulling if he wants to. Large camp already blocked up too, so no quick kills with the arrow for the Mirana. Yeah, back in that mid lane again. The Timbersaw's on top of Shira. There might be a death here with a chain and a whirling death. He takes him down with the trees around him.
Yeah, I mean, 18 extra damage per tree around. He hooked in to get close to the trees. Got 2 extra trees damage there. Brings him down so quickly. I love to see mid Timbersaw buy some iron branches as well and just plant those before using the extra damage.
To get more damage from them, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what does Underlord do in this situation? Like, you can't go jungle. You just have to stay in this lane and hope for the best.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you stay here for now and pray, you know. But level 6 will come out for Timbersaw, and then I think you have to retreat, go jungle, find a different approach into the game. But for now, he has to keep farming this mid wave. He has to just nuke out the lane and work on getting nice CS. Even though he died there, if he gets to Boots Bottle, like, that's kind of decent. Then he can start jungling a little bit and do something.
Bottom lane, jump in from Gilgir. Also a bit of a dive top happening at the same time, but this Mirana is getting turned on by the Alk and Jakiro. Arrow gonna slip straight between the two of them. Everybody survives, everybody's happy.
Yeah, nice efficiency there. Plantimus drops all his stuff and uses his 15 stick, heals up, gets his HP back.
There's a healing Lotus too.
We haven't talked about the top lane too much, but Slark is honestly not having a very good game at all. He is getting the full Enigma treatment here. He only has 13 CS, only level 3 and then some. Meanwhile, the Enigma, of course, level 4.5. And keeps getting those 8 on denies.
This is a giga toxic lane though, isn't it? Like, Undying's in your face, spamming decay, bullying the maiden, stopping pulls. And Slot can't touch a creep wave to save his life.
I mean, they even dove him on the tower and dropped an aggressive tombstone earlier, forcing him away. So, yeah, this is rough. Slark has to work hard for every single bit of resources that he gets here. Still a long way to go to level 6. That's usually what you're holding out for as a position 1 Slark here. It's like, when I get level 6, I can tank the harassment. Nah, you're nowhere close. And these decay stacks, they're adding up.
Yeah, he might just have to pounce away back to his courier.
I mean, this is not feeling great for him, and he's got power treads, you know, so he's hitting kind of fast, but
he can't show his face.
He can't fight.
Yeah, I mean, a mango and some stick charges. I mean, does he throw the tombstone down to chase this one out?
Oh, he doesn't die. He has Lotus.
Dire's top tower.
Thinking about the high ground tomb for this Crystal Maiden, but yeah, Undying 1v2.
He's just
Solo
winning alone here.
zoning.
Yeah.
Completely. Well, Enigma free farms 35 and 15 to Shogarat. The Hand of Midas well on its way.
This is what
And
they need,
Underlord
though.
Underlord is done with this game. I'm leaning against the Timbersaw. I'm out of here.
He's done. He's looking for a game where he's not a mid Underlord. Something, you know, teams love flex picking lately. And this game feels like something went wrong with the flex picking. Like, yeah, we can put the Underlord mid, it's going to be fine. And then a Timbersaw came out. It's like, oh boy. It's like, who takes the matchup, you know?
Just pulled a hamstring over flexing.
Yeah. Now, this is what they need, though. Aincrad coming top with his Timbersaw. Looking for Enigma. Quick kill.
Yeah, even the Mirana brought up here as well. Should get some money from these Eidolons too. Good move from Aincrad as he also bullies back the Undying. Another Chakram is ready. Is he going to go? He can't get this, surely not under the tier 2. We'll back himself away for now.
He needs
TP.
to de-aggro those creeps so that he doesn't steal them, because Stark needs everything. He needs,
Yes.
you know, that experience has to go to the top lane. Wisdom runes, both of them going through a Radiant right now. So we get a nice experience lead. Oh my god, look at the levels. The level difference is getting pretty big when you get both those runes.
Yeah, pretty dramatic. I mean, Slark, obviously, like you're saying, the one losing the most down at the
Radiant's
bottom.
middle tower
Very low
is under
HP now as
attack.
well, and still level 4. Handed over
Getting
some
fed
tangos.
but
Yeah.
it's not really healing you that fast.
Right,
People are
Aincrad.
sticking around.
Round 2. Rinse and repeat. Let's go again. Get this Enigma out of my lane. Please stop him from denying all my creeps. He just comes in to kill Eidolons, right? Okay, job done. See you guys. I'm out here. Underlord having a much happier time now.
Dire's
Here's level
top tower
7.
is under attack.
Starting to climb up the net worth board. Going straight into that Rod of Atos.
He's getting some space because Timbersaw has a job to do.
Dire's middle
But, I
tower
mean,
is under
this Slark,
attack.
dude. Slark is again running away from the Undying. Like, first it was the Kuro coming behind the tower there, forcing him to use a Q, and
Dire's
he's just
top
running
tower
back to
is
base.
under attack.
This is such a tragic laning stage for Slark. He has absolutely nothing.
That's so sad.
He is not even half the CS of the second lowest CS score in the game.
Well, they'll kill the Underlord though, it looks like. Another chain. A little bit more damage from the Maiden and Timbersaw. Should finish him off. Ah, Chakram is there. Well, this is what we saw from the previous game, right? The laning stage wasn't perfect from one move. The first 7-8 minutes was definitely a bit dicey. But when Mirana and Maiden start moving around, you know, causing havoc, creating moves, opening things up for their cores to be aggressive, that's where things broke down.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, their rotations are really on point right now, especially coming down here bottom, identifying that Alchemist can't be left alone.
Yeah, I mean, Afterlife has the Doom for him. Frostbite to hold him in place is a good tombstone placement, but looks like the Alk is going to die regardless. They're not diving for it, and an Ice Path into damage from Jakiro. While Undying and Enigma did herd away that additional hero, so Timbersaw's out, and the Doom's going to die inside the Pit of Malice. Alchemist survived.
is fine. Yeah, there was a lot of hesitation there. He didn't Doom immediately as fast as he
Radiant
could
are
have.
scanning.
And Alchemist got his ulti out, so
Radiant's
gets that
middle
50
tower is
HP
under
regen.
attack.
Of course, they continues throughout the Doom, so if you have that on, you can't really die to Doom. You're gonna be fine unless someone like actually finishes the job. I did think they would die to Timbersaw, but Timbersaw was a little bit worried about counter rotations. Well, he didn't commit for full DPS. He
Radiant's
kind of
middle
jumped away.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, and usually with that kind of move, like, okay, you're forcing reactions and alleviating pressure from the Slug, but that's not really the case. The Enigma's stuck up top, tier 1's down, Slug now still level 5, having to jungle his way to level 6.
Well, he's getting it at least. He's, you know, every other core is already higher level on the side of Radiant, but finally he's got his level 6, gets the HP regen, can make his job easier.
Okay, well, I mean, Frostbite into Arrow, but I'm laughing at the tip from the Slark. He's watching the Undying die in that mid lane. He doesn't care about his hero at top. He's just watching the Undying get what he deserves.
Yeah, I mean, he's still not over the fact that Undying has been bullying him the entire time he was growing up, you know, level 2, level 3 trauma from this Undying.
With the PTSD. And Jakiro gonna say hello to the Mirana up on that high ground. Protecting the Underlord. Now TP down to Outpost, and Dying's going to show his face to the Timbersaw. Not sure that's where you want to be, but a good high ground tombstone might set up a fight for them around it.
Another
Underlord.
tip, Stark?
He's run out of them. Jakiro Underlord not quite close enough by to make a meal out of that tombstone. And Alchemist, yeah, in his favorite spot. Goes from that safe lane farm down into the lower levels of the jungle. As Aincrad keeping Jakiro entertained in that bottom lane.
It's a great place to just be forgotten as a carry. You just tuck into this like added extra space on the map, and people don't really make rotations that far because it's such a long journey to gank you, and you have extra time to react to those ganks. So nice little place for him.
Yeah, it's being signaled out now. Gilgir looks like wants to get down there, maybe get some deep vision going. Might be a little bit too late now. So we are closing in on that relic for Palantimos.
Yeah, we have Midas build from Slark trying to catch up with that, and also Midas build from Enigma, by the way, going for the greediest possible build of Midas into Octarine core second item. This nice. Enigma is like, I'm going late game and I'm gonna be huge, which I think is a good approach here, honestly.
And let's go for it. And right now, one move. Another one's trying to force something in the mid lane. Shield rune for the Mirana. Set up arrow from the Frostbite. Timbersaw going to chain forward and look for the Undying. Another good tombstone placement, but yet again, no real follow through. One move will just be able to Moonlight Shadow and run back.
Conveniently getting rid of the zombies by just using Moonlight Shadow.
Oh, Slark is hunting Eidolon's top. Yeah, buddy. Oh no,
lost his courier.
Oh, the Midas gets delivered.
Courier for 2 Eidolons.
Not worth.
Not the best trade, perhaps.
Complete freedom for Shogarat.
Yeah, he's actually getting very close to Octarine plus Midas already. He only needs the Voidstone and the Vit Booster, and then he has the entire Octarine complete. This is a very early timing.
Dire are scanning.
I like that they're going for the Seeds of Serenity on multiple heroes, by the way. Enigma has it, CM has it. You know, it's getting the love and respect they deserves now with the buffs.
Ah, staying power. Stay out on the map, stay farming. Always present.
You can heal your Eidolons with that.
Oh yeah, super good. Here's that move from one move though. And coming down to that bottom part of the jungle, we'll see Jakiro. I really would have wished that was an Alchemist, but Palantimos is off to the right-hand side. Might just go find himself a pocket of fog to hide in.
He's got TP in towards mid. Probably gonna move. Oh, does he go to this jungle? I thought he was gonna go to a triangle and try and farm over there, but he's gonna stick around, which means Gilgir is nearby enough to bully him.
Feels like Palantimos knows something's coming. He's a little bit skittish farming out that final Warpine Raider. An arrow actually connecting on the Underlord mid. Not going to commit for it though. And now we have this Alchemist Radiant, so probably ready to get involved a little bit more.
Yeah, he has a lot of damage. They want to take a fight with.
Yeah, looking to kill off this Underlord. Nearly got the job done immediately. Concoction into Pit of Malice though, going to turn it around on the Maiden. Nothing Timbersaw could do there to save her. Yeah, this Timbersaw, after a spectacular laning stage, you know, dumpstering the Underlord, being forced to make all these rotations and really in a position where he would love to be farming and scaling. He has to be the action hero.
Yeah, he's really covered like space creating responsibilities this game, and it has allowed the Slark to come back a bit. But it definitely come at the cost of his own game.
Well, what's this Enigma up to? He's farming enemy jungle very deep. Looks like he'll get away with it.
Interesting move. More interesting moves is Gilgir. It's time for a 7-minute division. 14, almost 15-minute rune there, you know. Takes the wisdom.
And Pantheon's going to find one on the right side of the map too.
Radiant are scanning.
It's one of these weird games where you've got some of these core heroes really over-farmed in terms of where they should be and where they want to be. Under-farmed ones, the Underlord and Slark. And Makushi still trying to gather up what he can. His Echo Saber is a couple of 100 gold away.
Yeah.
But I feel like Doom is not as farmed as I expect him to be, but
it's
I think
that Devour nerf as well.
Yeah. It's also just the fact Alchemist and Enigma have had such incredible games that they're a bit over-farmed.
Yeah. No, but I agree. I think Afterlife could probably have been a little bit bigger in this game, considering he hasn't been part of a single kill yet. all he's been doing is farming, so the fact that he's not really ahead of the Alchemist, who, you know, obviously farms fast. Fight.
Yeah, Atos, Pit, Ice Path, everything as Timbersaw joins to kill off Jakiro, but they lose their Doom. And Ironcrown doesn't want to stick around, so Timber chains away.
Trade 1-for-1, but more heroes were invested by UALEIKUM, so yeah, they win the fight, but meanwhile, mid was being split push and Slark was carrying or farming.
Gilgear, close to death in that mid lane. These roots, incredibly good from Chira.
Yeah, he went for the Rodovatus rush. Like the build for a mid Underlord instead of going Aura build, of course. Just going for more of an active fighting build. Doesn't have the level 4 Pit of Malice though, so he can't do the full lockdown.
Portling top as the black holes there on the slots. Doesn't even need the Underlord to come. Shogarata solo kills Munkushi up there.
That is definitely not what you needed right there. If he got ulti out before the black hole, then he would have lived on Slark. But he got too close there, too close for comfort, and even 6 Eidolons just hitting you as well during that entire black hole. Way too much damage.
Well, they will swing into mid. Underlord pretty low HP. Let's combine up here with the Timbersaw and the Crystal Maiden to take down Chira Jr. This is all room for Plantimos Alchemist though.
Doom is here. He's trying.
Trying to dive deep onto the tier 1. Arrow misses and a good Ice Path Macropire comes out of Mary. Timbersaw going for the Undying, but here's Alchemist joining in the fray. Aiming for the Pantomime Maiden. Take a couple of whacks of the axes there to kill her off. And the tier 1 tower is still, what, 50 HP, 47 health.
Afterlife just ends up having an awkward run past the Jakiro and then run out again moment. Didn't get to use the Doom there. But still Timbersaw doing some great work in this game. He's 9-0-1. Like, this is a one-man show right now from one move. He's doing so much. Every single kill they're getting pretty much is because of Timbersaw. Oh boy. I guess a lot of Eidolons there as well, as he called 6 of them at once.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Big money. Oh, pinging out top. Underlord under tier 1. Who's here? Slark, Mirana. Oh, they're bringing everyone across. Ironcrown and Pantomime are on their way. So we'll start things off with a pounce, the leash into the arrow, but good moving there, sidestepping, making sure it's no easy connection from Gilgear. And Chira Jr. setting up for his team to arrive, still does die. As Pantomime launches out the freezing field onto the Jakiro, and Makushi getting a couple of stacks. Now up to 2 permanent Agi, and Palantimos is coming into this through the Fiend's Gate. There's no black hole in Enigma. They'll kill off the Maiden. Tombstone dropped, and now a bit of trouble for one move. Doom has Doom, but not really a target to throw it on. Trying to walk himself away from here, but inside the Midnight Pulse, and Palantimos with the damage just unloads on him.
Well, Alchemist big carried that fight to turn it around. That looked bad at first, but Alchemist just getting to whack down on people. I think maybe they need to just commit Doom on literally any target and try to create, you know, a fighting situation for Timbersaw. Timber still wanted to take that fight, but if they don't commit spells, then he can't really turn it all around.
Radiant
and needs a bit more help. Radiant Scan knows they're still lurking around. Ironcrad is just planting himself in a place on the map and challenging anybody to come and contend with him.
Yeah, he really is playing with great confidence here, as he's beyond godlike. But has to watch out for this black hole. There's Blink on Enigma.
And they've got the roots to start things off. Shogarat's coming across with the Midnight Pulse, Concoction, and Alchemist damage. It's an awful lot for the Timbersaw to deal with, and a big bit of money. Oh my god, was that 1,600?
Yep. That's more than 1,500 gold for that kill.
What?
And 935 gold going the way on Alchemist right there. Getting absolutely huge.
Well, not good signs for one move. And Palantimos, incredibly huge on his Alch now, 403, and well on his way to his next item. Blink Daggers purchased up immediately.
Yeah, I like that. Just get more Blink Daggers, get more mobility, control. This is where Move needs their carry to come online soon. Like Munkushi, he's been farming, he's been working his way back. He has that Diffu, Echo Saber, Midas. He actually does have a decent amount of items. I think once he has Shard complete, he has to just look for fights and actually join his team more.
Trouble being, the enemy is looking for him. Well, he can start looking for them. Stunned up by the concoction, needs to get the Shadow Dance to run away. Only one more hero there. Could have been the end of the slog.
Yeah, he's gonna be fine for now, though. Gets away and has enough money to get his shard up. See Wisdom Runes going one for each team there. Fair trade.
As this progresses as well, Enigma's getting close to BKB. Underlord, who had a pretty rough first 15 minutes, gonna have his BKB soon, so we add these elements of safety for.
Ooh. This is a great smoke timing. All the lanes are so pushed for Dire. This is a really good time to try and find someone. They smoked everyone though. Maybe they needed one hero to push out mid as well afterwards.
Oh, they scanned the out. They knew he was down there. They're not going to be able to connect on him properly. Like Gilgear is lurking around under the smoke. Head into the triangle instead. Jakiro, a pretty simple kill here. Got his anti stack from Monkushi, and looks like Timbersaw Pantomime not able to latch onto anybody else.
Yeah, gets a nice little fight, back out and keep farming, which is exactly what Enigma is doing, by the way. He's working towards a BKB right now with that Blink Dagger he recently caught. He's already closing in on BKB.
How is it so close on the net worth? Like, it feels like the Radiant are like out farming, out killing, out fighting, but as 10 to 14 and net worth lead is pretty much 0.
Yeah, it's very even. I mean, he has Midas and farmed his way back into the game a little bit, but no, the carry is a very big net worth disparity. It's all about the fact that Timbersaw is really far ahead of the Underlord, and then you have Mirana being quite farmed as well. Like supports, the supports are richer on the side of one move.
Okay.
So they've done a good job overall at, you know, aggressively controlling bounty runes and just fighting a lot. Still the game is very competitive at this stage, but I think UALEIKUM are in a good spot because as the game progresses, Enigma getting these key items, you know, Blink, BKB, Octarine Core, if he gets Refresher in there as well, you know, like you're starting to look at a hero that just dominates fights, and the only thing you have against it is going to be Doom. He has to be the solution, and that's a lot of pressure on Afterlife, who so far has not had a very good game here. He has only been part of 2 kills, even though he's tried for a little bit more. And he's not super farmed on Doom, even though he hasn't been really pressured.
Oh, hello. Enigma arrowed up. And no help in sight. This is a huge kill for the Slug. They're even going to Doom him to make damn sure he dies.
I'm not sure about that Doom. I'm just going to say I'm not sure about that Doom. He did have BKB, of course, coming in on the Courier just now. I'm not even sure they knew about that because that was flying over the trees. But no matter what, I think Enigma dies there.
Well, they made damn sure he died.
Oh, he's damn dead. Yeah, I mean, listen, a bad Doom is better than no Doom. Yes. Last fight, I was complaining that he didn't Doom anyone. I'm not going to complain that he did Doom someone as well, but they get that off, you know, back to farming. Now you can farm without feeling bad.
Pick a side, Waga. Doom or don't Doom?
Doom. Definitely
Doom. Always Doom.
Yes.
But yeah, you're right. It's that point about Aincrad not having a good game, because it's like looking at his stats, his net worth, you know, it feels like he's doing okay. But
you mean Afterlife?
Aincrad
is having a great game.
Aincrad is having a great game. Yeah, Afterlife, sorry. He's kind of playing for himself. He hasn't felt like he's had team impact. He's just getting to a point where maybe he's going to be able to deal with that Enigma later on down the line. As Octarine Core, I think, is finished as he fiddles around with some items on the Courier and disassembling and unlocking. Doom has it
disassembling.
In the mid lane, Mirana does pop the mech, but in the end, dead. The Orchid on the Alchemist, making sure of it. That's a cool item pickup.
I mean, it's a great gear cap item, and Bloodthorn is super strong nowadays, and can be a good tool to kill Timbersaw even. If you have Bloodthorn, that rend damage it's scary, man. The 60% of the damage you took in the last 5 seconds, if you don't dispel that, it actually hurts so bad. And then it's just a good item, you know. You slap the Timbersaw, you reduce his damage.
No go for Roche though. It's Enigma, the be-all and end-all of team fights, and Blink, BKB, Octarine Core, and Black Hole ready, most importantly.
I don't think they can let this go though. They're moving over, they're smoked on Doom, trying to go over there. They're in time.
Shadow. Roshan isn't dead yet, half health remains. Timbersaw. There's the Orchid. Not taking too much damage. His Aghanim Scepter starting to stack up and launch some big damage on Palantimos, who needs the BKB now. Undying in trouble as well. Going to run it back, and they were still waiting patiently for that black hole opportunity. The Radiant have been bullied away from Roshan, and now Chemical Rage coming to an end. Might be an opportunity for OneMove to go back in on the Underlord. It looks like an easy target. They are. And usually when you back up these wild animals into a corner, that's where they're the scariest, the most fearsome. But this Enigma's still not making a jump. OneMove have kept themselves separated and not opening targets for a big black hole. Now he uses it on the Slark and the Maiden, but he's doomed immediately. Afterlife stops them in their tracks. The turnaround from OneMove, chasing on, they've killed them off.
Oh
Out
my
Jakiro,
God.
Underlord dead, Undying follows, Enigma stuck in a 5-man vibe. OneMove have turned this game on its head.
They played that so beautifully tactically. How
Sublime.
they held positions in a really, really nice way. Slark was even covering the escape route to the south. And I must correct myself, Gareth. That was not animals in a corner. That was fish in a barrel.
Dire's
I'm
bottom
sorry.
tower
They
is
looked
under
similar, but that was definitely just
Radiant's
a
top
cleanup
tower
right
is
there.
under attack.
Goodness gracious.
And you know what all this comes down to? All of it boils down to Aghanim's Timbersaw. Literally all of it was enabled by Timber going in, Aghanimsing up. You cannot burst him during the Aghanims. There's absolutely no way in hell you kill him during it. So he
Radiant's
went
top
in,
tower
scouted
has
out
fallen.
all the position, forced some reaction, and allowed his team to take great positioning during that time.
Radiant's top tower is
That
under
was just
attack.
amazing for them.
Yeah, I'm looking at this Timbersaw. I had to click on him like 5 seconds into the fight. Like, what? Why is it? What? Oh, he has the yellow bar of it. All right. Yeah, Aghanim Scepter Timbersaw.
Oh, you do not. Yeah, you don't kill that.
Thanks to like Force Chemical Rage, spent the BKB on the
going in?
Alchemist. Oh, yeah. I mean, they've used the Phoenix Gate to come up top with the Alch as well. Slark opens up on the Undying, kills him first.
He's farming.
Kushi has the help of the Doom to take down the Underlord too. Oh, it's all falling apart for them now. OneMove really in their groove. Just finding kill after kill. They've got Aegis on Slark. It's looking incredible. Like the 14k lead just appears out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, that one fight on Roche was just absolutely disastrous. It was maybe a little bit of a
Radiant's
early
top
Roche
tower
attempt
is
there
under
for them, as
attack.
they don't have the best heroes ever to take Roche. And they felt overconfident, I guess, because of the BKB black hole. But the positioning was just, you know, cut open so
Radiant's
beautifully
top
by
tower has
OneMove.
fallen.
How they didn't allow it to be a, you know, tight fight in a small area. Instead, they spread it out a lot and only
Radiant's
used
middle
the
tower
Timbersaw
is
as a
under
front line.
attack.
And now,
Radiant's courier
OneMove.
has
They
been
can do
killed.
anything they want.
Scanning.
Hunting Enigma looks to be, or Alchemist even.
The Alch, yeah. Infernal Blade,
Oh.
the Doom. Set it up perfectly, and Palantimos arrowed down. He slides through his dead body, in fact. Afterlife gets the kill before it can even touch him.
He's definitely finding his ways to join the fight now and have his impact on the game as well on Doom. Good pick up there. And
Yeah, good
right
guys,
now,
I've got 20k net worth. I'm ready to fight now.
Radiant's middle
yeah, I mean,
tower
right now
is
it feels
under
like he
attack.
can't even get on the map. UALEIKUM, look, he's top now.
He's everywhere. Slark's going to
Slark.
connect with him now.
Slark is coming. You know he's hunting.
Gimme, gimme, gimme. Sugar at BKBs, but has no TP, no chance to
Is under
blink.
attack.
And they'll keep the damage on him.
High
Slark just needs to
five.
touch him once. No!
Not in time. The burn damage too strong.
Sad stuff. But anyway, happy times for the Slark after a debilitating laning stage.
Yeah, this has
straight
to
into
be
the-
pretty cathartic for him
Yeah.
to get back in the game this way. And he's going for a butterfly as well on Slark next. Having that Aghanim's, of course, great for hunting, but
Radiant's middle tower is under
butterfly
attack.
being queued up.
Radiant's
there's
middle
just
tower has
No
fallen.
fear whatsoever.
No, I mean, they're just doing a great job going deep here. Look at Slark again finding a Kiro. Nowhere safe.
It's actually insane how quickly Dota can go from you being the ones who are behind and straight up losing the game. You know, I was at the major. My girlfriend, she doesn't play Dota, not really, into esports or anything. So sat there explaining what's going on, and she asked the question of how do you know who's winning? And I sort of do the well, you don't really. You have some parameters and stats and factors where you're like, yeah, they're kind of leading in this and they're doing well on this, but
Sure.
until you get to the situation where someone has killed the throne, you don't know for sure who's won.
Yeah, that's also why you should
Radiant's
never give up in
bottom tower
Dota,
is under
It's
attack.
always possible that you can find a beautiful way back into the game, the way OneMove did there on Roche, or that the enemy make a mistake, which you could also argue UALEIKUM made a mistake there in how they tried that Roche, you know, maybe disrespecting a bit the potential for one move. Oh,
Radiant's
goes
bottom
Timber.
tower is under
He
attack.
sees them all. Hello. Pitamalis is down, but the arrow's coming. Enigma go. Oh, he doesn't get clipped by it. Slides between him and the Jakiro. And no real catch for them. So
when I
they'll
saw
get the
this,
D-wards.
when I saw this Aghanims for Timber, I first was not sure how good it is because it's like survivability on Timber isn't he already really tanky, but the way it practically plays out is just you can have this insane confidence. Not just that you have the barrier, you instantly get full amino stacks on reactive armor as well. It's really, really nice for diving in.
And just having a bit of burst damage as well. It's like, yeah, I'm using my tankiness for damage. Slot, 10 seconds left on Aegis. As we see there, the big old swing. Marianas trench of net worth, probability graphs,
Radiant's
everything
bottom
dipping down
tower
into
is
one
under
move's
attack.
favor. Tier 2 bottom not really being defended, but also not really being pushed too hard by one move. Just like the creeps do the job. And one move still have a Wisdom Rune, a Tormentor to come back and claim.
Yeah,
Lots on the
they're
map.
just
Radiant's
so
bottom
front
tower is
playing
under
right
attack.
now. Like you're going in trying to punish and not let your opponents back on the map. So that's when you're not gonna go for those Wisdom Runes or Tormentors back on the other side. You generally want to be on your opponents here. They travel in Doom.
Yeah, I didn't get the firm connection on this Atos and the Pit of Malice on the Timber Saw.
Radiant's bottom tower is
I'd say
under
the
attack.
mid Underlord has
Outstanding.
not worked out so far, dude.
Oh, really?
Radiant's bottom
It's
tower is
it's
falling.
feeling a little bit like a burden.
Yeah. Yeah, from the get-go, it's been hard for him, eh? Definitely one of these situations where you like blame the hero, blame the pick in the draft and not the player. It's
How can he not dominate his lane against the Timber Saw? It seems like
Oh.
such a nice lane, Garrett.
such a nice lane. Oh my god, Slark! What are you up to? Just pouncing into the middle of them all. Straight on the Undying, another pounce forward. Oh, there's a Chikiro here as well. BKB's forced out already for the Underlord. You've got Freezing Field available for Pantomime if he wants to pop it. And Yules and Ironcrad as they'll take down Jakiro. And the Radiant sent scattering back to their fountain.
Yeah, I mean, this is just looking so hopeless for him. The only way they can come back into this game right now is by getting those big black holes, but one move are not stacking up. They're not standing close enough to each other that you can ever find those, you know, you need a 4-man black hole or something to get back into this, and how do you get that? You somehow need one move to make a massive mistake.
Man, it feels like a very difficult decision-making situation nowadays for, you know, carries and heroes like Enigma, where you're looking at this Doom and thinking, I kind of need Lincolns, and then you just know that Doom, as soon as he sees a component or gets a whiff of the idea, he's going to have Aghanim Scepter ready for you.
Oh yeah, I mean, Lincoln's is just not really a full counter to Doom anymore. It's it just isn't, because he almost has it now. He's 100 gold away from the Aghanim. He's gonna have the full point booster here coming out as well. And Timbersaw managed to get himself an Aghanim Shard from the Tormentor as they finally
nice.
went back and took it. So he has the Flamethrower as well.
I've just been clicking on this Enigma, man. So when I was making that comment, he had Refresher Orb queued up. And then after I made the comment, I saw he queued Lincoln's. And then he queued Refresher Orb again. And now he's got And now he's got Refresher Orb queued again. Enigma is really struggling to think what will win this game for us. And there are so many things he needs.
I don't know, dude. I'm not sure. Probably Refresher. Probably is the best.
Trust your gut. Go for your first choice.
If you get the first ulti down on Doom, maybe. But if Doom dooms himself, you can't even blink on him and ulti him. You gotta pull him into yourself, and the Doom cancels the black hole.
Yeah.
It's tricky, man. It's real tricky from here. This is advanced Rubik's Cube for Radiant solving this.
Yeah, it's super difficult. And 20 seconds for Roche. Nighttime.
Lord,
So top left corner. Where is he? Oh, he's over there. Yeah, Pantomime and Ironcrad. They're under vision. This is scouted, so they do get the blink away. Chira gonna pop his BKB. As it looks like we've got a little problem with the Observer, just trying to reconnect to the game. But currently
It's
nobody's
fine.
fighting. It's fine.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Into Munkushi. Get themselves that Aegis and cheese.
Looks like a clean Roche here for them, possibly, as they are stacking up, but they don't have a smoke. And getting over there, it's gonna be tough. So yeah, this is gonna be Roche going the way of one move, Aegis over on the start with this.
I mean, really, there's only one thing to look at now, isn't there? We just watch Enigma. If Enigma does some cool stuff, maybe they have a chance. If not, it's lights out. Dying, just walks straight into the middle of them. Enigma is picking up the trail, and Alchemist is jumping in towards the Maiden. Roshan isn't dead yet, about to fall, and the Crystal Maiden healed up a little bit there with the help of the Glimmer Cape and the Force Staff a bit of distance, but Pantomime's still dead and drops the gem. But now it's a chance for Slark and Timbersaw to get in. They black hole straight up onto the Slark to kill him off. Take him down the first time. Refresh up and look for the second one. Where is this black hole coming from? Shogun is repositioning, and Aincrad just bull rushing straight in towards them as Munkushi gets the damage on Palantimos. BKB wearing off, and the AoE Doom doing some work. But kill off Jakiro instead. And the chase towards them now. Shogun, he has the black hole. Three of them inside. That's a pretty big one, but they do get the turnaround now on them. Freezing Field, Arrow and Starstorm, all the damage in the world to kill them off. They try their damnedest, but there wasn't really a chance here. WALEIKUM are going to get routed as the Timbersaw chases the Underlord down and gets another kill.
Yeah, that was... I mean, nice try. Enigma got a really nice first black hole. I like the fact that he was on the edge of the map with the black hole in towards the map, right? So there was no spot to really doom him from, because he had his back covered by just the end of the universe, let's say.
Yeah.
As far as we know it in Dota at least. But yeah, that's a lot of ante on the Slark again. He's gonna go down and push every single hero alive. I'm not sure why they're not calling it already here, as they used everything they have. The BM, Aincrad is in, eating cheese, dropping a flag on the enemy throne. BM is getting in there. Another flag. Banners are coming down.
Radiant dropping some of their own, but there's the mid lane gone. Bottom lane set up by Afterlife. Defended that catapult. Kept it alive for another push in. I think you're right, yeah, with 45 seconds for double black hole. Maybe they can have one more fight.
Maybe.
One more chance, but that's a fight to get yourself back into a game where you still need, 2, 3 more fights to really try and
You gotta
win.
respect it. Never give up, you know? They're gonna keep trying here. To get a little bit of voice chats and a little bit of, a little bit of soft BMing here from one move. Moving in and dropping those banners, but I think it's looking tough to hold this. 14 seconds, then he has the black hole available. This is what they need. If they can stop mega creeps from happening, that would be absolutely massive.
And trying to chip away with the spam of the Undying and Jakiro. A lot of Atos there. Just a minor irritants for the Slark. Aincrad still has that reactive armor active ability to pop if he needs it. And the Doom's coming in. Yule's up into the air. Sent skywards by the Enigma, who's straight up black holes Afterlife. Going for the kill on the Doom, refreshes up, has another black hole, but not a chance to use it just yet. Looking at Aincrad, but it's a difficult one. Undying buys back, and they do catch the Timber Sword. Got Concoction to go in afterwards as well, but in goes Munkushi. Afterlife aiming for Shogun. Timber Sword very low, and Palantimos, it looked like he could stand and fight, but when the Chemical Rage ends, doesn't stand a chance as Pantomime unloads the Freezing Field on them, stops the Underlord in his tracks, and chases them into the fountain. They'll have a few buybacks to play with here, but you're in a 3v4 and your base is being destroyed.
No alchemists, no black hole. It is just an Enigma without black hole, an Underlord, and an Undying to defend against. Yeah.
And Slark's back in again. What's he now? 40 stacks, 18 permanent. GG is called. They know it's all over now. Another 2-0 victory for our reigning Division 1 teams, but some good showings from the Div 2 upstarts.
Yeah, I mean, they had moments there where it looked really good. They were doing great in laning stage, right? The mid lane was whatever. Sure, you lose to Timbersaw, but Enigma was massive. Undying was just bullying the Slark, keeping him away from level 6 for such a long time. Alchemist also had a good start on bottom, and Afterlife didn't really connect into the game in a very nice way on his Doom. Doom didn't really have impact until quite late, but Aincrad on his Timbersaw, he carried them so hard through that early game that was rough. He saved the Slarks horrendous laning stage by coming multiple times top and giving him breathing room, getting that Enigma out of the lane. And ultimately, it was again Aincrad in the Roshan fights who went in with the Aghanims, gave his team the space, and made sure they could have that fantastic fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's always fun to see as well the fact that we talked about some of these things prior to this game. You know, we want to see different things. They tried the Tinker in the first game. Want to see how things develop. Do we get some laning matchup changes? This Underlord against Timbersaw, you know, sure, it looked kind of funky and they had this flexibility, but the Underlord didn't work out with the Timber last pick.
Yeah.
But yeah, also like a different kind of flow and style to the game from One Move. You know, game one was very much laning stage, mid-game, game over. This felt much more like things got broken down and they had hurdles and challenges they had to overcome, and they found that, you know, one team fight where, okay, we're in control now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was just really well done, but I think also this was again a game where I will say that the draft was just heavily favoring them, and that's why I said in game one as well for UALEIKUMNIHAO that, you know, the drafts, the early Tinker pick wasn't really addressed properly. They didn't have solutions to it, and here they end up with, you know, triple strength heroes and tanky heroes in general against the Timbersaw, who just shreds them. Even Enigma against Timbersaw is like, yeah, sure, Black Hole can be good, but he also cuts down the Eidolon super fast with Chakram, and he generally just doesn't care about you. So I think it's draft issues mainly for UALEIKUMNIHAO from what I saw in this series. And One Move, they just look really good in this series.
Yeah, super performance for them. A great start, you know, to Tour 3 for Division 1. You want to get these wins on your belt as quickly as possible. Get yourself in good stead to get those DPC points, or maybe head to the major. But that rounds things up for today. 2 series and we're done, and we're going to be back on the 16th. Not us, but Eastern European DPC. Going to be taken over by Ares and Danog, I believe, for a couple of series there. And then, of course, we've got 2.5 weeks of Dota 2 action to take you through. But yeah, Waga, it's been super enjoyable as always. See you in a couple of days.
Yeah, we'll be back for more. We're going to be casting many of these games, of course, later. But that was a nice way to break open the Eastern European DPC here.
Super enjoyable, and you know, until next time, go enjoy your pubs. Get into this new patch action. Enjoy some Dota 2.